Welcome back, everyone, to the If You Build It podcast. I'm Riyad Will alongside my co-host. What's your name again? Will Ellis?
My name is Will Ellis. We are filming here today in my lovely basement. We're on the road for the next couple of episodes, and I am very happy to mention that you can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. This episode of If You Build It is brought to you by DR Home, where you can now save up to 50% on custom blinds and shutters.
Hey everyone, Riyad Will and Saman from the DR Group, and we have some exciting news for you.
We are finally launching DR Home.
And this is your opportunity to get your custom blinds and shutters for up to 50% off compared to the market.
Okay, we're back. You know, today's episode is really going to be a little different.
Hold on, what number is it first?
This is episode 20.
There you go.
Big, almost a year in. Joseph's here with us
Joseph,
today. Look
welcome.
at Joseph. And Joseph, because he's going to be on camera today, got that beard. Look at the beard. The beard and the hairline. You could cut bread on that hairline. It's so crisp.
See the beard. You can only see the microphone.
Well, that's true. The beard is beautiful. It's a beautiful, lush. That can grow a beard. Is that beard naturally black? Or is it...
There's gray in there.
But it's not that much gray.
There's way more than
Like before I dyed my beard today,
yeah.
Morgan Freeman face. All...
Yeah, but you're pushing, 50, right? So
Well, even still, I looked old. So you're saying that your beard is mostly black?
Mostly black for now.
And your hair too?
Oh, my hair is black, yeah. There's gray somewhere in there.
But not much.
Yeah, it's kind of like scattered. Somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's very good.
So I'm told.
Yeah, well, no, it looks good. It looks very good, very regal.
Okay.
What do you think?
there you go. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
okay.
let's
All
go.
right,
Let's go.
continue
Let's
on
go.
here. And so Joseph's going to ask us a series of questions today because we are, Riyad and I, and soon, very soon, Mr. Joseph here.
Up and coming.
Up and coming. We're all entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And we love this podcast because we get to celebrate and talk to entrepreneurs from all over the GTA. And so today, we're going to just talk about our
journey.
With our boy here, Joseph Stewart, producer to the stars of the If You Build It podcast. Joseph.
All yours.
So I guess the first question is to tell us your background. I don't know who wants to take it first. Will was just talking, so let's go with Riyad.
And what's the theme of this?
Thank you. The theme of today's episode 20 of If You Build It, the podcast, is breaking the stigma. As realtors, I do believe there is a very negative perception. That's part of the reason why I got into the industry myself. Very negative perception of what realtors do. People just think we're in it for the money. And
You know what? It's funny. We were just having this discussion. I'm with you on that. But then Joseph over here has worked with 3 different realtors, and he doesn't have that.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I don't feel I have different opinions on the realtors that I work with, but I didn't really think any of them were greedy or in it for the money. I felt that while I worked with them, to some degrees they were actually trying to help me. Where 2 of them didn't work out is that there was a specific thing that I wanted some assistance with, and it didn't really work out for them helping me with those issues. But I never felt that there was anything greedy about them or anything like that. And maybe I'm just naive, who knows? But no. I didn't really think that, but it's interesting to see that is a stigma out there. I can see it because I guess maybe sometimes realtors have a flashy way of presenting themselves. And
Well, if you ever watch like Selling Sunset,
what's the new one now?
Lux or Lux.
The Lux Real Estate in Toronto. I watched episode 1 of that. And I know some of the realtors. Great people.
I have no comment because I know too many of them. So
great show. I just think it just again goes to the whole perception that all realtors are in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
In
drive
it for the
fancy cars, clothing,
and many successful realtors drive, Toyotas and drive, is Audi a Loper? Like I don't know what kind of, but don't need to be flashy to show their success. Is my point. And so, and again, that show, great show. The first episode I watched was really good. showcase Toronto in a very positive light. But that's not who I am as an agent. That's not who you are, Riyad, as an agent.
100%.
So I'll go with, you need to talk about your background.
Yes.
So
Oh, sorry, the episode. That's what
Breaking the stigma.
was breaking the
stigma.
stigma of real estate agents and trying to showcase us as hardworking people who are trying to support our own families.
Yes.
Like everyone else in this country. Though it may be hard right now, we're all in it to make our families, ourselves better and contribute back to society. Riyad, your background.
how my
Your upbringing, your education, all that stuff.
so born and raised in Scarborough,
Ontario?
Ontario,
Just wanna
Toronto.
make sure that was England.
Yeah. Went to school to Cedar Brae, Scarborough, then U of T. Graduated from that, went into
What do you take at U of T?
business management and economics. Yeah. So
Interesting.
I know a little bit what I'm talking about.
You do.
Then from there, got bounced around many corporate jobs, pension world and IT world. Did that for about 15 years.
Wow.
Then real estate was something that I liked. And then, there's a bigger story to how I got into it, but I won't go into too detail. Just basically had a bad experience and thought I could do better. And then I always wanted to do something else. And I thought about going back to school, which I actually did, to go back to do my CFA. And then my daughter was born and it was hard to study 30, 40 hours a week, have a daughter.
Study.
Yeah, these exams were 6-hour exams.
My
And there's
God.
3 of them. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I need to find something else. And then I saw real estate and having the bad experience and I said, okay, you know what? Let me just try this out. And I did it for part-time for many years. And then
You came full-time what year?
2018,
Which is crazy.
which is nuts. Yeah. And for the first few years, I never realized I was doing okay as a realtor. I just thought, okay, I'm part-time and it is what it is. And then I told the story to you the other day. In 2015, I won, I think, a top producer award at the office. And I thought they had it wrong because I was laughing my head off. I'm like, how can I be a top producer and I'm part-time? And then I actually started realizing that the average realtor doesn't do that many deals a year.
So you do 4?
4 deals a year.
4 or less.
Yeah. And I was just like, I did not know that. And then there's always that, should I go full-time? Should I not? And, because having pension, full benefits, family, mortgage, it was not an easy decision to make. And then in the corporate job I was in, they weren't too happy at the fact that I did real estate on the side.
Most aren't. Yep.
And they started giving me a hard time and I didn't like the way they managed and, how I am, I'll question everything and speak my mind truly and freely. And a package opportunity came up and we'll leave it at that. And I just said, you know what, here's my time. And 2018, I called it quits and went full-time real estate and never looked back.
Wow. My story's similar. Born in Toronto, moved to Whitby at 11. And as a child, I was an athlete. Thank you very much.
No one can verify that story.
There's no video evidence of me being an athlete, but I was an athlete. Thank you very much. Bad knees in my 40s as a result. I, as a young man, didn't realize this. I loved drama. I used to do school plays and do a school announcements and speak. Student council president in high school, student council president in college. Loved business courses in high school. Took marketing and HR at Durham College. Have 2 diplomas from Durham College in those.
What was your best subject?
Sales.
No, like math, science.
Well, anything business.
Okay.
So again, I don't know, marketing, sales, all that stuff. And then I was talking about my first job out of college was a manager of Foot Locker, which I loved. But I did not like retail. And then I spent 10 years at Durham College as a general manager doing events and marketing and working with student leaders, not only here in Ontario, but all over the country. And I loved, again, speaking and just get to know different people. I've always thought I'd get into real estate, but then, again, you get comfortable with your pension and your consistent income and life just, being easy.
Comfortable. Yeah.
And for me, I left Durham College and sold cars for a year, but I was always in sales and I always enjoyed it. But the only thing I hated about sales was the fact that if you're working for someone else, you got to do it within their rules. And for me, real estate, my biggest thing was not about I was great money. For me, it's the flexibility of my schedule. More and more, I realize I love being able to control my schedule 100%. That means more to me than money.
Yeah.
And so today I woke up and I was like, I'm at a garden. And I spent the entire, because I like getting all of I've read books now, to be efficient. I get all my whole household chores done, typically by the end of the week. Weekends is for real estate or being social,
Yep.
For me.
Right.
And so the flexibility and being able to talk to different people and work with different agents is why I love what I do as a real estate agent. And I just love it. There's not a day that I hate. Questions?
I'm kind of being a little bit of a bad listener. So for a little bit, but no, for you, Will, it sounds like having more autonomy in your life and your schedule was one of the key factors for you.
Yes.
Right. For Riyad, what was the key thing for you? I know you were looking at the way like the corporate world was and what your position was like in that, how they treated people or you even specifically. Was there anything beyond that you thought would be a benefit to just being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, because when you're in the corporate world, you can put all the hours in the world into something and still make the same pay.
Yeah.
Right. And that was, and it's not about money. It's just about, if I'm going to give myself something to you're going to be working for 40 years or whatever it is before you retire. And if I'm going to put all the time and money into time and effort into something, you want to be compensated or rewarded for that. Right. Yeah. And I didn't see that in the corporate world. Whereas entrepreneurship, if I work 12 hours, the fruits of labor will show eventually. Right. So that's why I thought I can get more value monetary. And then, as Will said, time.
Yes.
And you can define your own schedule. You can, if I want to take at 2:00 and, go see my kids play at school, I can do that. Right. Yeah. I don't have to take time off of work. I can just,
you have to ask for time.
Yeah.
Can I leave at 3:30? Typically, like, what are we, 9? What COVID taught me, and you taught you the same thing. When people were forced to work at home, and some loved it, some struggled. Yeah. For me, I realized how important it is. Again, the only thing we have control over in life is time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for people to say, "Oh, well, no, you can get more money always. Yeah. You can't get back the time. Like, Joseph, you're on me today about how long it took for us to set this up today, right? But I am weird about my time, and I schedule everything. I have calendar. We talk about having calendars for this and that. I have a calendar with the wife, calendar with the DR group, I have a calendar for everything, because I know for a fact that one day I'll be dead. I'm going to make sure I give my best self always to everything that I do in my life. Yeah. And so that's another reason why I got into it. Most people just you hear people that coasting in their corporate jobs, retire at 65 and then dead by 66.
And that there's a life for people who want the corporate lifestyle and people who want entrepreneurship. And for me, I prefer the life balance in entrepreneurship than the corporate world. And that was the main reason for my switch.
Yeah. Awesome. So now that you've both been entrepreneurs for some time, do you see the benefit in your lives as far as making that switch? And now the things that you were looking for, how much value do you see on that and say, okay, hey, you look back at yourself when you were working in the corporate world compared to now, how do you compare and say like, hey, you know what? I definitely made the right decision. Like, what is it like now?
God, I'm old. So I'm compared to you two, I'm old. Like, 20 years pretty much I gave to, to other people and corporations, which is fine. I don't think I've changed that much.
Right.
I just think now you just adjust your lifestyle to sort of suit, like, again, real estate is every day. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So if it's 2 hours or some days it's 12 hours, it's every day. And just working that around your social and family obligations, it's a little easier. It's a juggling act. Some days it's hard to juggle the business and family, but you know what? The sacrifice at times is worth it.
Right.
But I think about myself 20 years ago. I think about myself now at 46. Yeah. I'm equally as happy because I always liked the jobs I had done in the past.
Right.
I just like the fact now that if I'm done with something and like, a task, I'm done with it because I chose to be done with it.
Right. Okay.
And I could say I'm way more happier. I'm less stressed because you don't have to deal with anybody. I mean, yes, we deal with people all day. And some can be very interesting. Agents can be very interesting. Yes. But in terms of management, in terms of that, I am my own boss. I can make my decision. If I say, hey, at 2:00, I want to take a nap, I can take a nap, right?
Do you take naps often?
No, but I could. Just the fact I know I can.
Yes.
So from a lifestyle perspective, 100% happier. From a monetary perspective, I'm a lot happier. And also from self-development,
Yes.
I feel smarter. I feel more
challenged.
engaged. Yeah, like
You were challenged.
every day is a challenge, right?
Yep.
I feel more engaged with my family, and just overall lifestyle is way better.
So speaking about like self-development and having more control over your time, what would your morning routine be for each of you?
My morning routine, I mean, I really don't have one. Since becoming a team, DR Group, DR Real Estate Group, whatever our name is, 2022, I've noticed that Riyad and Saman, very regimented with their morning routines. I am a night person. I am up late, and most of the stuff that I do for us in real estate and the team is done at night, and then they get emails from me in the morning because I'm better in the evenings than I am in the mornings. Mornings I struggle, but I'm trying to now get up earlier, work out. Like I need to lose a few pounds clearly, based on what this chair just told me, and just be more productive with my day. And so this year I have I'm probably up earlier. At least 5 out of 7 days each week. I work out or I go outside and just,
I'm gonna start calling you very early now. And
You messaged me, am I messaging you back now? Thank you.
sometimes.
This morning I messaged you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Thank you. And what's your routine like, mister?
So yeah, I'm very scripted in how I do things. So I usually get up in a perfect. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, but this is my ideal way. Is I get up, I read for about half an hour.
What books?
It ranges mainly.
Like Cat in the Hat? Like what kind of books?
Yeah, mainly
Clifford?
magazines and
Penthouse?
no, mainly motivational, entrepreneurial. I mean, sometimes I do read stuff about athletes as well because I find their mindsets. Because I think entrepreneur and like athletes are very similar mindsets.
Let's ask
Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
We'll come back because you said athletes.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Get through your routine.
We'll come back to yeah. So read for about half an hour. Work out for another hour and 20. So that involves, some weights, some cardio, sauna, stretching, then shower, and then start my day.
What time's that usually at?
6:30.
Because you're so by 9, you're...
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Unless I know we have something scheduled or whatever it is early, then I'll get up earlier and do that or adjust my workout accordingly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How important is the morning routine, do you think?
It's the way I stay focused because sometimes you need to pick me up. Sometimes you get you might lose a deal the night before, or you have a tough client or a tough sale, and then you kind of get deflated, or you maybe having a bad week, and then you read one thing in a book that kind of sparks some interest, or you're working out and a great workout. You feel after a great workout, right? So and that's all you need.
I'm kidding. I've been working out this week, going back to the gym, and you do feel so much better after a great workout.
And sometimes you just need to let aggression out or anything, and then like somebody gets you annoyed or whatever it is, you want to get rid of it. You get rid of it in the workout. You put it all there.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Now, athlete wise, I'm taking this over for 1 second. Favorite? We bonded over this.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite athlete and why?
My favorite of all time, it's easy. Michael Jordan. Everything that he says or you read about him is, and it's amazing to see. And then if you look at Kobe, who kind of copied everything he did, I read Kobe's book too. It's just the evolution of that, right? So,
and do we believe that young Minnesota Ant kid? Ant has very much. You agree?
So, okay, here's my thing with the new players.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
Early
go.
on, they start to show you something that they have.
Yes.
I just don't find they continue it.
Yes.
And that's
Follow
so.
through.
So right now, exactly, the follow through. So right now, Ant-Man or Anthony Edwards, like he's showing signs.
I don't know why he goes by Ant-Man. What a stupid nickname.
I forget the. I read his story.
Is it because of the movie?
No. It's a nickname from his dad, I think it was, or something like that. So he has it right now. Like he's showing signs of greatness. It's let's just see what happens. It's like John Moran when he first came in. Everybody's like, "Oh, John Moran," and where is he now? Right? So
Injured.
Yeah, but also his social life, right? Like
ridiculous.
So you want to make sure that these guys upkeep it, right?
Well, it's tough when you think about it. Like I think about like whatever it's now the playoffs. I mean, we were messaging the night of the Lakers getting ousted finally.
Yes.
And I have a hard time watching the arrivals of NBA players. The outfits are outrageous. It's a job. You should be wearing a suit or something reasonable. Instead of these ridiculous clown outfits that you're wearing.
God.
And this is very the same thing about the stigma of real estate. Like there's people who ruin it for us or
Right.
change the how we look based on things they wear or the
Yeah.
cars they drive. Basketball's no different. Like, I agree with you. They should be coming in suits, or when you're not playing, you shouldn't be wearing these baggy like pants.
Or no one said to wear like a suit, but wear like, you know,
sweats.
what's your old business card? A vest and
This guy. Question number 3.
yeah, right. You know, but it bothers me. I'm not saying, and you look at other leagues, hockey, baseball, they all look professional.
The consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's I think, and that's why the NBA needs to tweak a couple things, including the All-Star weekend, because of all that stupidity. Do we agree there, Joseph?
With the
NBA?
just the clothing aspect of things. Yeah, like I agree with you. I feel sometimes the things that people are wearing looks ridiculous. If someone was wearing something the other day, like they look like their pants was like sweeping the floor or something like that. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, why are we doing this? This is not a runway fashion show thing. I mean, I know they do the walk and all that stuff.
Yes.
But like, to me, it's so unnecessary. I do understand that people have their own brands and all these different things. Now all these players have their following. The interesting thing is like the players who really had their own brands, like when you look back, like Michael Jordan, they were like the it person in the league, right? And then obviously you have people going to be around them to kind of tailor how they look and present,
Right.
and all that stuff. But everything that's going on right now in the ridiculous outfit, some guy had like, I think it's in drill culture or whatever, you wear like a ski mask type thing.
Oh yes.
I think the guy from OKC, he had that during a post game interview. And I'm just
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
yeah, he's a good player, but I'm just like, this is so unnecessary.
It takes away from who they are.
Yes.
And that's with any industry right now. Like we're talking about this whole stigma. Like this is what it creates, right?
Yeah.
And just be real, be yourself, and it takes away from that stigma.
Exactly.
Yeah, and coming back to your response with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, just a follow-up question on that. What are the attributes that they have that you really gravitate towards?
So initially, so my background too is, obviously I do martial arts, and I did that.
Obviously.
Okay, I've done
Like,
that.
everyone, obviously.
You know that. You guys know that.
Obviously, I do martial arts too, guys. Yeah, thanks. Martial arts, come on.
I didn't mean like that.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously.
But listen to their focus. It's always about their focus, right? Like what I admire about these guys is their focus. And then you look into your business aspect, your entrepreneurial. It's all about focus, right?
Yep.
You bring the same thing. It's focus, it's motivation, it's dedication, it's forgetting about the noise. Like think about it at Michael Jordan's level, how much people had knocked him and say bad things about him. You think that ever let that get to him? No, he put it into the game, right?
Yep.
And it's similar to in real estate, like there's so much noise out in real estate. Like you said, the stigma about real estate,
Annoying. Yes.
the market this, the market that, interest rates that. What do you do? Focus on what you have to get done, and you'll be successful, right?
Yes.
And that's in any industry, any entrepreneurial industry. You just got to focus on what you need to get done.
And the most successful realtors and most successful athletes don't speak about what they do. They prove it on the court. Like Michael Jordan, I have never heard Michael Jordan speak ill of any other athlete.
Right.
He speaks ill about himself. He didn't perform well. He'll always congratulate or compliment the winning side. Where I'm not knocking LeBron. LeBron. Every loss when they lost versus Denver was, it was fouled here. Like you can't play for fouls.
Yeah.
You either play to win or you learn.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and I think the difference between like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and then LeBron, from at least what they speak about, is almost like you can only control what you can control.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
A ref making a call, you can't control that. Even star players, you have disagreeable calls, and you don't really whine about it. I've seen Jordan go after referees because he disagrees with
100%.
them and everything. I've seen Kobe, right?
Because you're in the moment, and when you're in that moment, and a call goes away, you think it should have been there. I can understand the heat of it and the passion that you're playing with.
1000%. But what to me stands out is that they're like, okay, well, it's almost an adjustment. Look, this is the new reality. This is what I have to deal with. So I now need to adjust. And I think with them, that pushes them to another level of greatness.
100%.
Right? Because they could get the job done almost with no matter what the situation is, I'm going to get the job done.
And more to your question, like when you look at Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, say they're getting bad calls and they're not happy with it, they adjust their game, right?
Yeah.
They don't worry about that. They figure out another way to win. And the reason why I relate to that is there's things in the market that's going to change.
Yes.
And you can sit there and
Yes.
cry about them.
Yep.
And oh my God, the interest rates, the market's going to tank, blah blah blah. Or you adjust your business.
Yeah.
And that's what's relatable about these guys is that they adjust no matter what's happening.
Exactly. And again, for me, my favorite athlete, of course, is Michael Jordan. Like, no one can come close
Yep.
to Michael Jordan at all.
What else do you have for us, Joseph?
So, speaking about schedule, going back to that original question, and now that you, as an entrepreneur, you're able to manage your time, when are you guys the most productive? I'll go with you, Will.
He answered that.
I am the most productive
In the night.
in the evenings.
Yes.
And most of the real estate business for showings and stuff happen late afternoons or evenings. So I'm most productive in like after dinner to like 10 or 11. I'm able to get stuff done.
How does that, like being aware of that, is this for you more, I guess, a scheduling thing, or is it like your time of day where you like feel the most relaxed or whatever the case is? Is it more of an internal thing, or is it just about how you manage your schedule and you're like, this is the best time for me?
That the second part, because I think in the evenings, after, because you get phone calls throughout the day, we have meetings throughout the day. In the evenings, when you're just able to sit down for like 90 minutes to get, full, like I get all my emails done, I can get all my stuff done. Or what I also do, love technology, I delay emails, delay responses, or prepare an email and then send out in the mornings. Just so, like, if I'm busy with something in the morning, I can still get other things done as well. So really based on the schedule that I have set up for the week, but I am most productive in the evenings.
So I'm weird. I'm a very weird person when it comes to
You
this
are,
stuff.
because you work late too?
Yeah. So in terms of like working out and doing stuff like that, I need to do in the morning. That's my productive time.
Yeah.
In terms of getting things done, I'm more productive in the morning. But my deep thoughts are more in the evening time.
Deep thoughts.
Like
Really?
when I'm thinking about the
What
business,
to eat?
and that too. But when I'm thinking about the business and trying to how to grow it, or there's a problem or a listing, or I'm thinking of another event or another idea of generating business, it usually comes in the evening time.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it just because that's the time I relax. So I'll be watching TV or the game or something, and you relax. But then my mind does this little, here's a problem. Oh, maybe this, and then I start thinking about that. I start writing down. There's times I go to bed, I lie in my bed, close my eyes. I'm like, oh wait, and I get my phone, I type it in my phone, or I email myself this, and I go to bed.
Yes, I do the same thing.
So sometimes like the nighttime is where the deep thought comes in there, because I think it's like where you get the time to reflect on your day or the week or whatever it is, and that's when it comes in. Because your mind's at ease. You're not thinking like you said. You don't have the distractions. You don't have the calls, the emails, the whatever it is. So productive both ways.
Right. So I get it. It's interesting. So, and that's a very consistent thing. Like both of you, like when you're most productive is very consistent, right?
Yes.
So it's almost like you have a rhythm then, right?
True.
Yeah, like and it's what works for you, because I know successful realtors who do way better than I do, and they're all over the place. Like there's no structure. There's no. They just fly about at the end of their seat. Like there's nothing about them that's scheduled or regimen or nothing. It just, they fly, and I could never be like that.
Yeah, and I think it's good and bad.
Like I'm not going to say anybody, but you know exactly what I'm referring to.
Yes.
And it's
good and bad.
I don't know how that person functions. Like I couldn't.
I think it's bad. You need to have structure.
Yeah.
I think your mind. I always tell people that when I look at a house, I look at a home. If someone's home is cluttered, it's a reflection on their mind.
Even the car. Like I use the car too.
As a realtor, the number one you tell landlords, walk that person back to their car. Their car's a mess. They're probably gonna be a very messy tenant. They won't be a bad tenant, but it will be messy.
At times, like my car or my house is messy.
Right
but
now, my car's
it's
messy.
because of when life gets busy.
Yes.
That's the first thing to go. But it's not a reflection of who I truly am, though.
Right, but typically,
Yeah.
like I know for myself and you, our cars are pretty clean.
100%.
Like I hate driving in mess.
Yeah.
That's it's a pet peeve of mine.
Interesting. Another question I wanted to ask you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is so tell me something about yourself or a singular thought that you had that allowed you to be convinced that, you know what, I could do real estate. Just even in the
That's a very good
That's
question.
a good question.
Just even in the beginning, you're like,
Did you write that question down yourself?
No, I didn't write it down myself. Right?
I think what was the question again?
Just a singular thought, just one specific thing that allowed you to say, you know what, I can do real estate.
Well, I'm going to be called cocky for saying this, but
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Every entrepreneur has a cockness side to them. Go ahead.
Before you continue, I will say something that ego tends to be a bad word with a lot of people. Ego is very important for your own like self-realization and your own success.
There's some healthiness to it. So
yes,
yeah,
it's the balance part that people misunderstand. Yes. But
for me,
let's hear it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use one word. It's me.
Yeah.
Like if I believe that I could do something,
yes,
then I will do it.
Yes.
So I'm very similar to that. It wasn't even just the fact it was real estate. It's when I made my mind that I'm going to be an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what it was. Like I could have been in mortgages. I could have been washing cars for a living. You know what I mean? Like have my own. I would make it work.
You have a passion for washing cars.
Yeah, no, I know I do. I love washing cars. But so as I'm saying, like no matter what I did as an entrepreneur, I knew I'd be good at it because I know I would put all into it.
Yes.
Now with real estate, it's just one thing is I love homes. Like I love everything about it. I love look what happened when I came to your basement today.
Like Mr. Inspector checking.
Yeah, I love the construction. I love the decor. I love everything about it. So that's why it goes with that, right?
Yeah, and I also think I don't like. I've been like weird Jamaican ways, but anyone who that's ethnic. I mean, you two are ethnic, right? I have witnessed many people on their deathbeds, and I remember I tore my Achilles, and it was 2011, 2012, the year of recovery for the Achilles injury from basketball. Because I was an athlete.
When
terrible.
He bring the water jug and he fell.
Yeah. I just did a simple layup.
Yeah.
And my entire back of my leg was popped. People thought it was a gunshot. It was so loud.
Wow.
And no, just my Achilles rupturing. That was it. A year recovery. But I was tail end was running my air cast towards after my surgery, and I went to a close family friend. My mom wanted me to see the man, and he was dying from cancer. So I went up to him and said, "Oh yeah, what's happening?" He's like, "Willardy, keep it down." My full name is Willard. Willardy, turn around. I turned around, and I looked behind me, and his kids and family were there. He's like, "You don't want to regret anything."
Yeah.
And so from 2011 on, I was like, well, how can I have impact, not on others,
right,
on my own life?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about you in life.
Mm-hmm.
And did you change your name to Willardy after
No,
that?
my name is still, when I go to Jamaica, my name is still Willard. Yes, thank you. The only black man to use a knife and fork eating chicken, in Jamaica. That's me.
And roti and everything else.
I know, whatever.
And pizza.
Yeah, keep it down. But because at the end of the day, we are so afraid of making others get angry, or angering others. We're so afraid of not letting people down. And what I have learned in my life, and I have some enemies, that you don't have to be liked by everyone.
No.
The being liked is a lie. Like not people are fake to you all the time.
And the more successful you become in anything, the more haters you're going to have, and it comes with the territory.
You know how much work it takes to hate something and to not like somebody?
Yeah.
So if you're going to put in that much effort, I appreciate it. Yeah. That's the thing.
It means you're doing something right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's you got to just make sure that at the end of the day, you are doing what makes you happy.
100%.
If you're married to somebody that you don't like, get out, because you don't want to regret anything in life, right? You just got to make sure you're making the best choices for yourself.
Yeah. No, I love both of your answers.
Thank you. Whose is better?
There isn't anything better. I think it's basically the same.
He just sent me a text that was me.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Yeah. No, but I think a lot of times people don't believe in themselves. And I think it's just such an unfortunate thing, because we start off believing in ourselves. Like when you think about a baby, right? A child that is crawling to go get something, or starting to crawl for the first time, they see something and they go get it. That's the singular thought in their mind, is that I can do this. They don't know how to articulate that, but that's what they do.
You know why people are not liking themselves anymore?
Tell me.
Phones.
Yeah.
Me, Riyad, we were raised at a time when phones were just becoming a thing when we became adults.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. I'm so glad in the era we grew up in. And
Yeah, I appreciate
100%.
it so much more. I see parents. I'm not knocking parents that have children. I have no kids.
Yeah.
Wishing their kids a happy birthday on Facebook. That's not for the kid. All the stuff you're seeing on, oh, my son, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Do not inflate the ego of your child because they passed grade 3. It is not hard. They can't fail it.
Yeah.
Right. So
nowadays, you can't
fail a
up
kid.
to grade 8. You can't
Like I remember when kids failed when I was in grade 3 because they weren't smart.
Yeah.
But you have to have a whole rigmarole if you're going to fail a kid and make sure you have all these things in place. No, we got to celebrate true success.
Yeah.
Getting through grade 3 or being able to cross the street on your own are not accomplishments that you should be celebrating for your child. That should be an easy thing to do for any child.
Yeah.
I think we need to realize the harm that cell phones, screens, and also the lack of linguistic skills for most like kids. When I worked at the university and Durham College for years, my biggest amazement was, and this is early technology, was just kids' inability to email like an email, not like it's a text, and stuff like that. It's a problem. Professionalism is a gift, and I think it's lacking.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I think with the onset of phones and just even like technology, the access that we have to things has become too easy, and so the instant gratification we get means we don't work hard to get something.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you brought up a point. We were talking just the other day about our upcoming interview with Barbershop, and the Barbershop in Whitby was a former adult video store. When we were children, they were everywhere. Because you didn't have cell phones, you couldn't pull it. And I remember in Ambassador Home Video. Remember Ambassador Home Video in Whitby?
I think so.
And so Ambassador Home Video was and every video store had this. Every Friday we were at the video store getting a movie. Everyone did it, right? You spend $9 on your smartphone popcorn, but in the back section with holiday lights all over the wall was the adult section and then kids would sneak in there, and you go, who has? If you had Joseph's Beard at 14, you'd be the one to go in there and rent the movie because they think you're 18.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where today now, it's so easily available.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Everything's available.
It's too available.
Yeah. I came across a post recently and it really stuck with me. And they did a study with some kids. I can't remember the age. And they had them answer a whole bunch of questions. And they had one group, when they answered the questions correctly, they congratulated them for having the correct answers. The other group, they congratulated them on the effort they put in. And then in the second round, when they answered, then they had an opportunity to pick questions that they wanted to answer. The ones who were congratulated for getting the correct answers, they picked easier questions because they were looking for that
immediate attitude. Yeah.
Right? And then the ones who were congratulated for their hard work chose the harder questions to answer. So that just tells you right there what we're doing when we have instant gratification from easy access to all these different things. It actually makes us work. We don't work as hard, and then we won't achieve as much.
Yeah.
Right. And then at the end of the day, when you get to a certain age and you haven't achieved anything, how are you going to be happy about yourself?
And that's why everyone's like, oh, I'm so depressed.
Right.
When you're like, again, I'm the worst. I will say depression is a hard thing to fight off.
Yeah.
But if you don't start young at celebrating yourself and appreciating what you can do, not everyone's going to be perfect at everything. I know for myself as a kid, I wasn't going to be the smartest kid in the class, but I knew my strength was talking to people, being social, and it's okay not to be liked by everybody. That, and that's a hard thing to learn as a young kid. But you know what? It's better to learn it young versus learning at 40.
Yeah.
Because that's even tougher to take as an old person. I think technology, you're going to be a papa soon.
Yeah.
Technology is a downfall of society.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And everything is about balance, right? Like technology can be used in a good way, but you have to be the person who's in control of that and understand the pitfalls of using technology, like overuse of technology.
Like I have a Nintendo. What's the Nintendo thing called?
The DS?
Switch.
Switch?
I got one 2 years ago. Yeah. I just dusted it the other day. I've never used it, but I bought it because you can get like Mario Kart,
right?
Yeah. And so whenever I play the old school Mario, and I'm trying to put these games today. I have I don't even understand.
I have a PS5, but
I don't get the games at
I
all.
don't turn it on.
Way too advanced.
So what's your like last question for us to
Yes.
get to know us better?
Oh, let's see. What's your favorite thing about running a business?
The constant challenge. It's never the same thing every day, right? Every day you wake up, something's different. You relate to real estate. You can have a deal go south. You can have an amazing deal that happens. You can get amazing clients one day. I like to drive, so seeing different areas of Ontario, right?
Yeah.
So every day is something new, and that's the beauty of running your own business. It's not just the same thing. Like, no disrespect to 9 to 5, but you go to 9 to 5, you go into the office, you sit there, you log in, you do the same job, same thing. Take your 15-minute break, take your half an hour lunch, take your 15-minute break, go home, and it's the same thing every day. Whereas for us, every day is something new. Yes, there's some schedules like in the morning where you have your routine or whatever, but every day is something new.
Yeah, awesome.
The best part of the business for me is we're able to do things like this. Our team, DR Group Real Estate, thank you. We are so fortunate to have people that help us. Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah.
And, I just think we are able to sort of just talk. The best part of being an entrepreneur and on a team is that real estate's a very lonely, I'm like slouching over, a very lonely business. And being able to call a Riyad or call a Saman or call someone just saying, hey, I have this issue. How would you deal with it?
Since I've always loved being an entrepreneur, but that joining the team
Way better.
has taken it's a lot better. Like you just said, having somebody to talk to, run ideas off of. You're stuck with something you want to know, or just sometimes simply just to talk about whatever it is. Like if I have a bad day, yes, another entrepreneur might understand it, but you'd understand it better because you're in the same field as me, right? So
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I've learned. I think, really, you have a coach for your business. Your coach helps guide you. I am not there yet where I think I need a coach, but maybe I will. You never know, right?
you have me, don't worry.
Yeah, I have Riyad that can guide me in life. But I think as realtors, and it's a lonely, at times dangerous business because you're by yourself out in the country or in a dark alley, showing an apartment or basement apartment.
We can have another podcast of our horror stories.
Yeah, horror stories, right? But the reality is, we're all people. We all want to do what's best for our families and for our friends and support our clients. And I think for every bad story you hear in the media, there are 10 stories that you don't hear at all that are great.
They're great,
right?
100%.
So I think the reality is that every industry has a couple bad seeds, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully, we're showing you guys today that being an entrepreneur in real estate or any field you choose requires hard work, dedication, commitment,
Love and passion for it too.
love and passion, and good balance. And so thank you, Joseph,
Thank you, Joseph,
for doing this with us today.
Not a problem.
Hopefully next time won't take 5 hours. It was only 3 hours, 19 minutes to set up.
19 minutes
and 27 seconds.
27 seconds.
And and we had El Jefe again, and they have the best chicken fingers.
Yeah, we'll do a review on that.
Yeah, we'll
again.
do a review of
I
that
had the
again.
fries so far. The fries are good.
They're quite good. And again, we do want to thank you, Joseph, for all your support.
No problem.
I want to thank the people that live live in this beautiful home. And again, we are follow us again on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Again, DR Home is our new little partnership where you can save up to 50% on shutters and blinds in your home. Just contact us, I believe the team,
Direct, yeah.
DR Group directly, and we'll arrange it for you. And again, you are saving, in some cases, thousands of dollars getting custom blinds and shutters in your home. So again, thank you guys
Thank
for
you, everyone.
this. And again, we will see you soon. Thank you very much.